blitz. Fields throws to Herbert. Has blocking. Has a touchdown. That is a blitz beater.
He started out a little rocky, missing that.
Chicago Bears make all of us look stupid and kick the shit out of the Patriots. Final score of this one was a whole lot to a whole little, 33-14. The Patriots, of course, benched Mac Jones. Got a lot to talk about. This is Interesting to See, your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, gambling. I am Nick. Like, rate, review, subscribe. Watch on your phone. Don't. You can tell people about it. You don't have to tell people about it. Whatever you want to do is talk about it. We're still unpacking things that happened over the weekend. But Monday Night Football, the Chicago Bears, I think they were 3-point underdogs. I forget. At halftime, score was 20-14, Chicago. Game ended 33-14. The Patriots benched Mac Jones, put in Bailey Zappe. Bailey Zappe looked great, and then he looked like garbage because he's a 13th round pick or whatever. I think he's like a 6th round pick. He's not good. Neither of them are good. But the Patriots want so desperately to be like, Bill's so smart, he's going to find another Tom Brady. You know, since Tom Brady, there have been like, I don't know, I'm going to ballpark 150 quarterbacks drafted. That seems accurate. There are going to be 5 to 10 drafted a year. Excuse me. It's been like 20 years, 21 years in the NFL or whatever it's been. Yeah, my math there is correct. Actually, it might be a little low. And none of them have been Tom Brady, except for kind of 3 or 4 of them, all of whom were drafted highly, except like 1 or 2. So no, you did not find the next Tom Brady. But it is hysterical to watch the entire city of Boston be like, uh-oh, what is it like to not be good at sports? The Bruins, their run is over. The Celtics, like their coach was banging somebody important's daughter or something. And the Patriots suck. They don't suck, but they suck. They're 3-4. Nobody in professional football is good. Some teams are really bad. Some teams are really good. And even those teams, it's unclear. There are 3 teams that are super good. But even they are not that good. They really aren't. We'll get into that. Justin Fields doesn't necessarily look like the guy against the Patriots, but he looks pretty good. Could do some things with his legs. Cole Kmet is a very good football player. And the Bears have some good defensive pieces that are rookies, so it's really exciting for them. This New England quarterback controversy injected into my veins. In the same week that Tom Brady gets his ass kicked by the worst roster in the NFL by far. They are on their 4th string quarterback. A guy that is not on the team, but for an injury to their rookie 3rd round pick, Matt Corral. Okay. Bears win. Good for them. I want to peek the standings. This is hilarious. I think the Bears are just in. Are they ahead of the Packers? No, they're tied. The Packers beat the Bears. The Lions are down here at 1-5. The Detroit football Lions, my Lions, your Lions, would be drafting 1st overall if the draft were held today, and I wish the draft were held today so that the team would be significantly better with Bryce Young, quarterback of Alabama, who is the one that I want. The light of my life. Okay, so we have more football to unpack over the weekend. Couple things newsworthy. Breece Hall, who is going to be a superstar for the New York Jets, tore his ACL in the game against the Broncos. That's sad. But immediately, the Jets are like, this is a special year. We want to go to the playoffs. We want to do something for it. And as a result of that, they traded, and here's freezing cold takes, making fun of the Jaguars, which is funny. They traded this guy, James Robinson, to the Jets. The Jaguars did. We needed a name for this duo, ASAP, Robinson and ETN. Well, Travis Etienne, of course, is a first-round pick from the Urban Meyer era. He was out for the year last year. He's back. He's a very good player. Trevor Lawrence likes him a lot, and so they're going to go with Etienne. The Jets wanted to give up something for Robinson. Of course, Christian McCaffrey trade just happened. So moving running backs, they want to show their team that, like, hey, we're not going to give up just because our running back got hurt, which is good. I think you should do that. And also because the ACL was torn in October, there's a pretty decent chance that he won't be ready till this time next year. He could be ready even further after that. And then even after that, these running backs, we can see it with Saquon Barkley pretty clearly. ACLs, for the most part, you're not back until the year after the year after. Everybody compares people to, like, Adrian Peterson. That's stupid. That guy probably used steroids and also, like, slept in an oxygen chamber, and he's a freak of nature. Of course he recovered. He's a freak. An absolute freak. So James Robinson goes from Jacksonville to New York, which is important for fantasy reasons because he's going to be the guy there. and the Jets are going to continue to try to win. We also have kind of bigger news. The Colts have benched Matt Ryan. Yes, and as a result of that, people are like, what does this mean for the Colts? So what it means is that they don't ever try hard to get a quarterback. Ever. They never try hard to go out and get a quarterback. They just kind of take the cheap guy. Remember Carson Wentz? They traded for Carson Wentz over Matthew Stafford because they lowballed the Lions. Stafford goes on to win the Super Bowl, of course. They got rid of Wentz, which was kind of dumb. They would be better with Wentz. I know that he is annoying and he hates coach, but then they trade for Matt Ryan. I think they signed him to a little deal, and now they're going to go with their draft pick Sam Ehlinger, who was part of the QB class 2 years ago with the Trevor Lawrence guys. A lot of people like the way he throws the football. If you remember him, he played for Texas. Was he the guy that said, "We're back"? I don't know. He might be. But they're going to go with Sam Ehlinger. Matt Ryan's arm is shot. People think that he can't play anymore. He's old. He's an old man. It happens, man. That kind of thing happens. Also in the NFL, there's an investigation going on from this clip that went viral. I'll play it if you want to watch it. It's pretty dirty, pretty fucked up. Here we go. In a football sense, it's not bad. So watch here. That's Mike Evans. Here are some refs. And they're asking Mike Evans for a signature. And he's like, "Hey, Mike, will you sign this?" And he's like, "Yeah."
That's what I said.
So Tom Pelissero of NFL, and whenever the NFL reports something, Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport are not reporters. They're mouthpieces for the National Football League. Quote, "The NFL is reviewing the incident involving side judge Jeff Lambert and line judge Trip Sutter." Those are awesome names. Trip Sutter. Fuck, that's an amazing name for a sports guy. "The NFL and NFL Players Association collective bargaining agreement specifically says game officials, quote, shall not ask players, coaches, or any team officials for autographs or memorabilia." And there they are asking Mike Evans. Maybe it's for my kid, man. I don't know. It's pretty fucked up. Shouldn't be able to do that. But at the same time, I don't know. Who cares? I don't know. They show favoritism to Brady. Who gives a shit? I mean, how many of those guys have Brady's signature that we don't know about? So I kind of think I don't care. I don't care. So the GM of the Colts, Chris Ballard, he said this when they traded for Matt Ryan back in March. Remember, so this is what happened. If you want to go through the whole saga of this Colts thing. So this is what happened. The rumors come out around March of the teams that are really going after Deshaun Watson. Those teams are the Panthers, Saints, and Falcons. Browns came out of nowhere. Once it comes out that the Falcons are looking into it, Matt Ryan's like, the fuck? And then he's like, yeah, you didn't need to trade me. This is gross. You guys are gross. And they did. They traded him to the Colts. And then after that, Colts GM Chris Ballard, who, again, they're not good or smart. They're cheap. The Colts are not good. They're cheap. They're cheap. They drafted Quentin Nelson and Shaq Leonard in the same season, so they think they're geniuses, but they're just lucky and cheap. Also, Quentin Nelson drafts himself. Please. Quote, "I wanted to make sure..." Here it is. This is the tweet from Dan Hansis, host of Around the NFL, best NFL podcast, I think. "I wanted to make sure that Matt knew that there's no doubt about it. It's going to be 2 years, and I think we'll go from there. I think we'll know. I think both parties will know as we move forward. I think Chris Ballard's ass is fired, and I think that announcement is coming soon." I think Chris Ballard, the GM of the Colts, has built a very good, not shitty team. And that's all they'll ever be. But the NFL is weird, man. They benched Matt Ryan, but this team beat the Chiefs. So I don't know. I know the Bills have a loss. I forget who beat them. Someone beat them. I don't know. Let's go look at it. I mean, these teams are... The NFL is just a different ballgame than college where, the better team's going to win the majority of the time. Oh, yeah, the Dolphins beat the Bills. Yeah, I mean, who the hell knows? Okay, we'll get into some early lines. I've been kind of slacking on the gambling portion of this program. Let's start with the World Series. Got a lot of storylines. The first storyline going to be jarring for some of you. Joe Buck works for ESPN now, so the game will not be called by Joe Buck. It's going to be called by Joe Davis, who had that electrifying call of Bryce Harper's home run. If you want to hear it again, let's hear it again. This is Joe Davis. This is the guy that's going to call the World Series. I think he'll be fine.
Pitch. Harper hits one in the air, left center field. Back it goes. Harper, the swing of his life.
Yeah, Joe Davis will be fine. I think he's pretty good. I actually wish Joe Davis were calling NFL instead of Kevin Burkhardt. Whoa, said it, meant it. Nah, I don't know. Kevin Burkhardt's okay. Joe Buck's voice was just so synonymous with fall. I don't know. Don't want to be critical. It's just hard to find those guys. I'm done with Jim Nantz. I don't know. He's fine. He's just so smug. CBS has just got an air of smuggery. I'm so glad that Tony Romo came in there and shook things up. Like, he's annoying, but at least it's not smug now. The Phillies are 1.5 run underdogs in the first game, which is Friday. Remember, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we'll go through all of that. The Astros are favored in the World Series, but barely. It's not minus 110, minus 110. It's like minus 160, plus 160, so someone's got to win. And so that's what Vegas thinks is going to happen. They're going through some the books are getting up some predictions right now. I think that the Phillies are going to win, and I'll tell you why. I don't know if we've talked about this on the show. I had this take. Maybe we have. I'm going to regurgitate it now. I don't care. I remember when Peyton won the Super Bowl in 2006. I remember when Ovechkin won the Stanley Cup. Must have been like 2018. You remember last year, Aaron Donald won the Super Bowl. You remember when LeBron finally wins the finals. Kevin Durant finally wins the finals. There are guys that throughout their entire career, you're like, that guy's going to get one. Like, he's going to get one. Bryce Harper is one of those guys. For me, it's a foregone conclusion. When he retires, he's going to be a World Series champ. I don't know when or where, but it's going to happen. He's just clearly so fucking good. And he's such a good teammate, and he's so consistent, and he's such a pro. Those guys win championships. Ovechkin, he matured, he won his championship like that. You just know that, and the reason that they haven't yet is kind of weird, and these teams get bounced, and then there's like upsets, and that happened to Ovechkin, it happened to Peyton Manning, but then that happens. It just kind of happens, and you look back and you're like, oh yeah, that was the Peyton Manning one. That was Kevin Durant won a finals. That's what we're experiencing for Bryce, and that is the extent of my analysis. I don't know. He is the best player in the world right now. Well, second best player. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest athlete in the world. But he is the best player in the world right now. He's super hot. That home run was insanely clutch. He's been so clutch all postseason. They've lost like 2 games in the playoffs. They embarrassed the Cardinals. They had almost no trouble with the Braves. They got right through the Padres. I mean, they won 2 games to none, then 3 games to 1, then 4 games to 1. So that's what? I mean, off the top of my head, this math part of this is 9-2 in the playoffs. It's not the Phillies versus the Astros. It's his time. I mean, the Astros winning would make a ton of sense. They are a better baseball team, but that's not how it works, man. Just vibes. And I can tell you this, the Astros did not play the Phillies. They have not played the Phillies since the cheating thing came out. They were scheduled to play the Phillies in 2020, but then, we remember. So they have not been to Citizens Bank. Jose Altuve has not been to Citizens Bank since then. And if I could give just like an eensy, teensy, weensy, peensy little piece of advice to the Astros, it would be to win at least, make sure you win a game in Houston. And if you could win 2, that'd be great. So then you could put pressure on the Phillies to have to win game 3. If the Phillies host their first World Series game and the series is 1-1 or worse, 2-0, and that Monday game at 8:00 p.m., and you're going in there and the Phillies could flip the series or they could go up 3-0. That's going to be an R-rated stadium. It's going to be a violently, aggressively mean, vulgar, loud place. The vibes in Philadelphia right now have never been higher since the revolution. Everything is good. The city's economy is doing significantly better. The Eagles are the best team in football. The Phillies could win the World Series. The Flyers are really good all of a sudden. And the Sixers don't suck. They are the new Boston, kind of. And I'm telling you right now, I would consider winning game 1 and 2. I don't know. That would be my thoughts. Actually, no, we don't have time to play the sounder. We have to get through something else first. I like to end on funny clips, but this clip is so long because it is from our Lord and Savior, Coach Mike Leach. And Coach Mike Leach, I love this because it is both hilarious for me, it's on brand for him, and number 3, it calls out his team and embarrasses them in a way that's not like a dick move. It's funny, but it's also like, guys, what the fuck? So this is great. This is great coaching. He's kind of a weirdo. This is great coaching. Let's listen to the clip and we'll get out of here. He was asked what happened in the game, and this is what he had to say after his team got embarrassed by Alabama.
And I'm genuinely fearful that on our team, if me and the other coaches don't get them right, that about a generation from now, their kids and their grandkids won't have hands, because, from a lack of use, those hands just disappear. I mean, and maybe it'll be like this, like those dinosaur hands like this are, you see. And you got like a Tyrannosaurus Rex who's clearly.
I love this. It's so true. So what he's saying is his team can't fucking catch it. Instead of saying like, hey, these receivers suck, he's like doing this.
Good at eating things, big old jaws and all that stuff, fairly athletic.
What a god.
Well, his hands are like this. And I think we took a very, very, very big step as a team, which we have to correct this. We have to correct this.
I would agree.
Because
catching the ball is important.
I think that in the end that it's going to be best for all these guys that they have good hand development and that they don't evolve where they don't have hands.
He's still going.
Okay, but we definitely didn't use ours, and so there certainly wasn't any genetic reinforcement on our part that we should maintain our hands. I mean, and I don't want all of a sudden, guys driving across this country, and then they get to Starkville, Mississippi, and all of a sudden there's these athletic-looking, friendly guys, because we have great guys.
Love that
don't have any hands. And I hope that that's not the case. But that's where we're headed right now, and we're going to try to get that fixed in this off week.
Dude, what a legend. Like, rate, review, subscribe, back and better than ever for Controversial Wednesday. Have some gambling tomfoolery to talk about, and the Wisconsin volleyball team. My God, guys, going to have a fun debate with that one. See you then.